What's up, guys? Winner Kills here. We are back with another locals deck profile. I'm here with my man Sheen. You guys know him as the Mutant Master, but this time around he got second place with something very interesting, out of this world almost.
Ooh,
What did you play, man? What did you play?
So I played Ogdoadic Aliens.
Oh my God! Why? How does it work?
So the plan around this was planned around the new support for reptiles, the Ogdoadics, who give a boost to the reptiles. They actually don't have a lot of support. Aliens, if I remember correctly, were the first reptile-centric archetype, and they came out a long time ago, like Crimson Crisis. So I just decided to give them a try. Really light on the alien cards. Like honestly, I only play a few in the extra and one in the main, or two in the main. But alongside the Ogdoadics, it actually has a little bit of power, a little bit of gas, if you will.
Hell yeah. You gotta have it. All right, let's see the main deck.
All right, so it all starts with these two. So we have 3 Nunu, the Ogdoadic Remnant, and 3 Nauya, the Ogdoadic Remnant. So Nunu is a light level 4 reptile that when you discard it from hand, you can send a dark reptile from your deck to the graveyard. Nauya, on the other hand, is a dark, so you discard it, you send a light reptile from the deck to the graveyard. But what's interesting about these is that these start all your plays. Nunu, while it's in the graveyard and you control no monsters, or at least one Ogdoadic monster, you can special summon it from the graveyard, but it gets banished if it leaves the field, and you're locked into special summoning reptiles from the extra deck. It's bad, but by itself, it actually gets you access to a rank 4 play into King of the Pharaoh Imps that lets you search Nauya and keep your plays going.
Gotcha.
Nauya, on the other hand, if it's normal or special, you can add a Ogdoadic Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. And let's be honest, there's only one real Ogdoadic Spell or Trap, and that's Water Lily. The other ones are actually kind of garbage.
It is. Oh man.
They did reptiles dirty, but you know, we making it work. The other level 4 that I play is Zoha. So this one, it comes up every now and then. It combos with Nunu. So if you activate Nunu to send Zoha, you can discard a card to add Zoha from the graveyard back to your hand. You can special summon Nunu and then normal summon Zoha, and that's how you get your rank 4.
Gotcha.
This guy's effect is if he's special summoned from the graveyard or sent from the grave or field to the graveyard, you can make your opponent draw 1 card. Then you add an Ogdoadic from your deck to your hand, and then both players discard 1 card. I know it's weird. I mean, I play generators, so I'm all about negging, like very hard, like giving my opponent pluses. But this does come up every so often if you have it on board with something else that I'll show you later. But in a vacuum, it's a pretty bad card, but it does help you extend past just Nunu.
Gotcha.
The level 8s that I play main deck are 1 Alarit and 1 Curse, the Ogdoadic Light and Dark. So this one, tribute 1 monster I control to special summon it from the graveyard. If I special summon it using its own effect, my opponent has the opportunity to special summon a monster from their graveyard, but that monster's effect is negated. So it doesn't care about position, so you can bring back links and all that. But what's really interesting is that you can kind of goad your opponent into playing in a certain way to misplaying if you sync with these specifically. So if you start with the light, like, oh, I can special summon a monster, so they might special summon a hand trap from the graveyard, and then you go with Alarit, which when it's special summoned using its effect, it allows your opponent to add a card from or a monster from the graveyard to their hand. So if they choose to special summon the hand trap, they won't be able to get it back and use it against you.
Exactly.
When these guys are special summoned, they have another effect, so that summon effect gives your opponent something, but when they're special summoned, you can target a level 4 or lower Ogdoadic in your grave, special summon it, but it's banished when it leaves the field, and when it's special summoned, target 2 banished monsters, at least 1 reptile, and then return it to the graveyard.
Okay.
So these are great for not only rank 8 plays, but they keep the engine going. So if Nauya and Nunu are your starters, these are most definitely what keeps the engine going and allowing you to grind. I had a match earlier that Game 1 was 40 minutes against the big funny zombie man. And so he's sending, summoning, but just being able to keep recycling my resources, I eventually ground him down to nothing.
Nice.
So the last main deck Ogdoadic that I play is Ogdoabyss. Board wipe. That's about it. I like nuking my opponent's board.
It looks nice.
It looks absolutely beautiful. It also
beautiful in collectors.
Came in first, so I decided to try it out tonight because it actually has light synergy with my favorite normal summon in the game. No lie, like high key. I love Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. I've been vouching for this card ever since they released Nightmare or Orcus Nightmare in OCG. Like, I was like, this is one card Orcus combo. You gotta play it.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this is that on normal summon, I can special summon a link monster from my grave such that it points to it. If it's used as link material, I can special summon it to my opponent's side of the field. And what's interesting is that it has a continuous effect that prevents the controller from special summoning any monster that is not a link monster.
Yeah.
So if I normal summon this, go into, let's say, Almirage, I can special summon it to my opponent's side of the field. And then if I have Curse Engrave, I can tribute the Almirage, special summon a monster, but my opponent cannot special summon a monster unless it's a link monster.
Okay.
So going first, it's great, it's perfect, and I love it.
Kind of removes the downside of a lot of the other Ogdoadics.
Exactly.
Nice.
The next card that I play is the Aliens, I don't even know what his name is, Stealth Buster. Just got it today from my boy Kaz, first place, shout outs to him.
Shoutouts, Kaz.
This guy is part of the alien part of the strategy, right? So if he's sent to the graveyard, I can place 8 counters on a monster on the field. So 8 counters are what aliens kind of revolve around. They get different effects based on the monster that has 8 counters. So some have battle effects where they drop the opponent's monster's attack. This guy, however, while he's in a graveyard, except the turn he's sent, I can banish it to target a card on the field with an 8 counter and destroy it.
Okay.
So on my opponent's turn, if I can get this in the graveyard, I can place 8 counters, and then on my turn, I can banish it for an easy pop.
Nice.
Great spot removal. It actually kind of combos a little light combo with Alarit because Alarit can then recycle it back into the graveyard to do it again.
Okay.
So next I play some more extenders. I play the White Dragon and the Black Dragon, the Clap Serpents. All of the Ogdoadics and the aliens, they're light, dark. Iblis, dark.
Yep.
So these just fit perfectly. I mean, rank 4 plays are great in this deck, and being able to make multiple King of the Feral Imps to keep searching is just you can't fault it. I mean, come on.
Can't beat it.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
More extenders are playing the Parallel Exceeds because, like I just said, rank 4 for life, right?
Yep.
This plus Ibli gives you essentially full combo. And the great thing is, since Ibli prevents your opponent or the controller from special summoning monsters that aren't link monsters, they can't nib you.
Yep.
They have a monster on the field,
Yeah.
so they can't
Imperm.
imperm,
Yep.
they can't gamma, they can't do any of that.
That's really
so
strong.
if they let the Ibli walk into this, it's full combo, just
Absolutely.
unabashed, do whatever you want. And the last monsters that I play are the crustiest of Ash Blossoms.
Yeah.
I mean, preventing searching, preventing special summon from the deck. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It's
Ash
Ash.
Blossom is Ash Blossom.
Right, it's a catch-all.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to spell cards. So the strongest card ever printed, Snake Rain. Got the spice.
Absolutely. Got the ice too,
Right,
man.
the ice in my veins, baby.
Absolutely.
So the Snake Rain. Foolish Burial's at 1 for a reason, so they gave Reptile Foolish Burial times 4.
Yeah.
Discard a card, send 4 reptiles from your deck to the graveyard, easy. 1 sentence, not once per turn, open multiple, activate 1, discard a card, they ash it, it's fine, activate another one,
Go again.
they cry every time.
Absolutely.
Or if they shotgun an ash on maybe one of the little ones at Foolish Burial, you then drop a fat Snake Rain on their head, and then you have access to all of your combo pieces, and you go from there. The next card that I play, like I said, Foolish Burial's at 1, but why not play more Foolish Burial? This is Ogdoadic Water Lily, so this is the in-theme Foolish Burial with a built-in Monster Reborn. So you send a reptile from the deck to the graveyard, and then during resolution, if you have 5 reptiles with different name, you can just special summon a reptile from the graveyard. So it can be the one that you sent, it can be another one you summoned earlier in the game, doesn't matter. It's a very strong combo ender, because if you can actually cheat out the larger ones. So Ogdo Abyss requires 3 tributes, but if you use this, it's just one
Just
for
bring
one.
it right out.
Exactly.
Very nice.
The next card that I play, Chaos Space. So this is just to get access to the baby dragons. Discard an Ogdoadic that isn't Alarit. Add the appropriate baby dragon, banish it, do the whole combo, put something back, draw a card, then Alarit just put the reptile right back to fuel Water Lily. It has I feel it has amazing synergy with this because again, the baby dragons are level 4, so it just keeps the whole engine going.
Absolutely.
So you're noticing that the idea is to get to the level 4s on field so I can make rank plays and then start searching out my reptiles. To help facilitate some of the stronger plays, the more protected plays, so the nib-proof plays, I have 2 sign-up mounting, discard outlet, just like Chaos Space. So if I brick and if I draw a brick, like the large ones, the large snakes, I can just send it to the graveyard, and I get a strong Floodgate, essentially.
Easy enough, yeah.
The next, I got my drips, and I have my trips. So we out at our locals. There's a lot of Dragoon, very high representation of Dragoon.
There's too much Dragoon.
Too much Dragoon. I hate Dragoon so much. I was actually thinking of playing Creature Swap. I'm sick and tired of getting Dragoon.
Yeah.
But I thought, why not just play the Drips and Trips? It's a lot better. Everyone knows what Forbidden Droplet does. Non-targeting negate, drops their attack in half. Triple T. I can draw 2. I can look at my opponent's hand. I can
Change a heart.
I mean, non-targeting change a heart is great. And the feature, even though I got bopped, I did rip a potential combo starter or a starter from Kaz's hand, which helped to kind of get me back in the game, but it just wasn't enough. But in other games, it was very strong, and I mean, I wouldn't change those up at all.
Gotcha.
I play the one called by. I'm thinking of cutting it because I have the triple Ts, but sometimes you really need that one Snake Rain to go through. They don't know that your hand is full of bricks, so sometimes you just got to push through that action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last but not least, I play 2 Imperm. More hand traps, you know. So I got the hand traps, I got the going second cards, and then here's the segue into some of the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh! You'll ever see in your life.
Okay.
This is the Planet Pollutant Virus. This is OG. So for those who know what Black Wings are,
Okay.
this came out alongside them. Planet Pollutant Virus is a virus card. So to activate, I have to tribute an alien monster. Its effect is it destroys all monsters on my opponent's side of the field, so it board wipes them. All monsters that don't have A counters. So at this point, I'm not placing any A counters. I destroy all their monsters, and then until the 3rd turn after this card is activated, my opponent's 3rd in phase, it will continuously place A counters on their monsters. Normal, flip, special, doesn't matter. It'll put an A counter on it. And this is really strong because a card just came out in this previous set that combos very nicely with this.
Okay.
And I'll show that off in a little bit.
All right.
So my Link ones, I play Striker Dragon because of the baby dragons. I play Almirage because of Ibli. Just to get the plays going. Once the plays are going, these are just moot. So I'm not playing the boot sector launch or anything like that. I wanted to condense the engine as much as I could and prevent drawing any, because for some reason I just love drawing bricks. So I thought, let's not even try no rocket cards. Not here.
Gotcha.
The next Link 2s that I play 2 Reptilian Echidna. So on summon, I can target my opponent's monster, one of their face-up monsters, and drop his attack to 0 permanently. Its other effect is it allows me to add reptile monsters from my deck to my hand, equal to the number of monsters my opponent controls with 0 attack. So I summon it, I drop a monster to 0, and then on a new chain, I can just activate this effect to search as many monsters as I can, but they have the level 0. The only drawback is it prevents me from special summoning reptiles from the extra deck when I use the effect to search. Okay. So I can only summon, I'm locked into reptiles, and there's not a lot of, the reptile toolbox is actually really small. So that's kind of like a last ditch effort. If I've exhausted all my resources from discarding and things like that, I'll do that, but mostly it's just for normal summon, let's say, or special summon Nunu, normal summon Ibli, make this, and then chain block the Ibli if they have a Gamma or a Bell or something like that.
Okay.
The next one I play is the one of Alien Shock Trooper M-Frame. So this guy's kind of crazy when it comes to his effect. It's a quick effect A counter generator. So I discard a monster, then I can distribute A counters on face-up monsters on the field equal to the level of the monster I discard. So if it's level 4, I distribute 4 across the field, 5, 5, so on and so forth. His other effect is he's a mini soul charge for reptiles.
Oh yeah,
so,
I think I remember reading this card, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, I can target non-link reptile monsters in my graveyard equal to the number of my opponent's monsters that have A counters on them and special summon them.
Wow.
So I've done this many times where I'll add a Ogdoadic to my hand, I'll discard it, distribute 10 counters across the field, and then just crash into a big monster, and then I can special summon up to, if my opponent has 4 monsters, I can soul charge up to 4 for free.
So good.
It's so strong, it's so strong. And here comes the big boy. So we got the Cosmic Slicer, Big Slice. His effect is pretty much skill drain on legs. He's 26, and every monster my opponent controls that has an A counter gets switched to defense. Also, neither opponent can activate its effects. I don't know why it says either opponent, but you just can't do it.
Okay.
So the way it's worded, it's kind of like Baguska, but better because they don't have to be in defense to negate the effect. So it negates every monster. Link monsters, XYZ, doesn't matter. If it can go into defense, it's going to defense, but if it has an effect, you can't activate it. His other effect is, when he's link summoned, I can actually add a card from my deck that places A counters to my hand. So I can add the Planet Pollutant Virus. I can also add the level 4 Stealth Blaster to my hand. And his last effect doesn't come up that much. I can remove 2 A counters from the field to gain an additional normal summon. But that's more so for like the Alien Ammonite that lets you keep synchro summoning.
Okay, gotcha.
But that's it for Link monsters. I'm gonna move on to the other part. So all these are XYZs. Double King of the Feral Imps. Because King of the Pharaoh Imps, once per turn, detach one, search a reptile. It's not a heart once per turn, so I'll make multiple in one turn. I'm double searching. Easy.
Gotta love to see it.
It's also dark, so it kind of plays into the whole chaos aspect of everything.
Nice.
Next, I play a small plant package with the Rika Queen and the Sacred Tree Beast. So 2 level 4s. If I'm not locked under the Nunu, I can make this tribute with Alarit or tribute with Curse. If she gets tributed, I can special summon a plant XYZ from the extra deck and then attach her to its material. And this guy's effect is during my turn, if I activate a card or effect, I can attach a card of the same type. So if I activate a spell card, I can attach a spell card from my graveyard to him as material. And then during my opponent's turn, if they activate a card or effect, I can detach one of the same card type and then negate that activation and destroy that card.
Gotcha. Very nice.
Next, we got a little bit of spice.
Okay, let's see it.
I play the 2 King of the Pharaoh Imps because I can go into number F0 Utopic Future.
I was just thinking about this, but I'm glad to see it in here. So nice.
And then just slap a Draco on top of it. Why not? Call me Big Daddy Draco. You feel me?
Easily.
So with the Ibli and the Parallel Exceed, given the hand, you can actually go into this turn 1 and it's protected from Nib and Gamma. So you not only get that nice Floodgate, you can sit on this in defense. Then on your next turn, because your opponent's not going to out it unless they, I don't know, have the normal summon that they contribute over or something like that. Or if they play Link monsters, but not a lot of people playing generic Links anymore. So you just kind of sit on this, they activate a monster effect, steal it, it's yours now, and then you just kind of push for damage from there.
Very nice.
And then the last bit is the OTK button. We got number 97, number 100, and number 38. So going first, you can easily put 2 level 8s on board, make number 97. 97 lets you special summon 2 dragon number monsters and then slap one underneath his material. So if I'm going first, I can make a Hope Harbinger with 1 material, or if it's going second, I can attempt to OTK with the Echidna, dropping a monster to 0, then going into this, special summoning this, and then these 2 together, his effect, detach 1, it gains 1,000 for each rank on the field, so he'll easily be at 9k, and then I just swing for game. I mean,
nice little one shot there.
Right, you know, sometimes you gotta have the OTK button, it happens.
People got their access code, but you got your Numeron
Exactly,
dragon, so
exactly. We don't need access code out here,
No,
hello?
we don't need that.
I had to buy the collector's rares, I can't afford access code.
There you go.
So for the side deck, I play the 1 Prankatops. Didn't really put it in. Might change it out for something else. Don't know yet. Really thinking about that creature swap idea. I really want to try it, but we'll see.
Okay.
See if it tickles my fancy. I play triple Droll and Lock because everyone likes to search. I don't really search. I'm sending from the deck to the graveyard, so searching isn't actually a really big problem for me.
Okay.
The next 2, I actually play 1 King and 1 Queen. You got Amnesia and Aaron. So these guys are weird. I still can't internalize their effects, but I know that these 2 require 2 tributes to special summon from the grave, so I usually cheat them out with a spell card. But Amnesia is if my opponent, sends a monster from their hand or deck to the graveyard, I can special summon a light or dark. And her other effect is if a monster is special summoned from my opponent's graveyard, I can non-targeting send a card from the field to the graveyard. So it kind of combos with Curse. So these are supposed to be on the field with Curse and Alarit. And then when they take the bonus from Curse or Alarit, you then punish them with the King or the Queen. It's a little too big brain for me, so if my opponent plays a lot of cards or a deck that sends a lot, I'll side in the Amnesia, or if they play a deck that adds a lot, I'll side in the King, because this guy is if my opponent adds a card from deck to hand, I can rip a card from their hand randomly.
Kind of like a Dark Law.
Exactly, it's kind of like Dark Law. I wish it banished too, but
that'd be so good.
His other effect is if a monster my opponent controls is sent to the graveyard, I can add a light or dark reptile from my hand or graveyard. She also has a Monster Reborn effect, so it kind of plays into itself, but it's really hard to get them out in their bricks, so I like to side them.
All right.
Just play Triple Bell. There's some Tri-Brigade running around, so, you know, gotta respect the deck, of course.
You gotta.
Twin Twisters, because it's Buffalo Loco, so everyone's gonna be playing back row deck. I am one of them on every occasion.
This is true.
And with that idea, I play triple evenly matched because people forget that you got to respect the battle phase. And if I don't set the card, it's probably evenly matched.
And a lot of people just forget about this card in general right now too. Not too many people playing it.
I remember when it came out, this card was crazy. Then it kind of just slowly phased out. But you know, what are you gonna do?
All right. So real quick, what were your matchups today?
Matchups. Round 1, I played against PK Fire. Really good. I evenly matched them, so
There you go.
gotta respect the battle phase. But it was a great back and forth. Took them to game 2. Game 1, it was literally just I gave them the Ibli, and there's nothing. No, they didn't play any generic ring 2, so they couldn't out it.
Yeah.
Round 2, I played against Eldritch, big funny zombie man, and it was a 40-minute game 1. So they started to gain some advantage with Pot of Extravagance, their Nadir servants, but I was just able to keep recycling the same and sitting on Cosmic Slicer with a 3-turn Planet Pollutant, keep putting their Eldritches in defense so they couldn't attack. They lose the attack boost, and then I was slowly putting larger and larger monsters on board until they couldn't stop the onslaught, essentially.
Okay.
Round 3, I played against Tinny. Really good pilot of that deck here at Locals.
Oh, yeah.
So again, gave them Ibli. They really couldn't do anything about it. Game 2, they made a Abyss Dweller, but I had the droplets in the gate, and then I just number 100 OTK with like 11,000 attack.
Nice.
And game 4 or round 4 was the feature match against Virtual World. I got thoroughly bopped, but you know it'd be like that sometimes. Given the hands that I had, it's really tough to play with the deck underneath Shen because if you banish the Alarit, there's no way to recurse those resources, so then you essentially lose at that point. So I was really trying to keep Alarit underneath XYZ, so then I can get it in the graveyard and keep recycling, but I wasn't able to out the Shen effectively each turn with the hand that I had, so I just ended up losing that one.
Yeah, understandable. Shen's a pretty good card.
Yeah,
so.
Shen's great.
I guess anything else you want to add before we wrap this up? Or,
well, you know, shout outs to my boys, shout out to Johnny Vu, you know. Shout outs to Johnny Vu.
Three day long, baby.
But yeah, big shout outs to all the Yugi boys. Shout outs to John for coming back. You know, I got big love for Buffalo and all my boys, and I'm gonna miss them when I'm out in Boston. But
we definitely are gonna miss you, man.
Yeah, it's a feeling that I'm gonna long for. But I'll be back. I'll most definitely be back with a new mutant strategy when OCG gets that support.
Hell yeah! All right, thank you very much for the profile, man. Congrats on the performance with it today, and thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, a special thanks goes to our Divine Level channel members, and they are Cadillacs84, Pony Stark, and Keith Sidgers. Thank you guys so much for your extremely generous support of this channel.